Okay, so third time. So I went ahead and I made an adjustment again to the side of it. Um, I when I ironed it out, because I had cut up into it, it was almost like I darted the bottom part of it, and then the other portion of the seam is like straight. So the seam came down and then it flared in because it was like a dart of the excess fabric. So I took it over to the ironing board and I laid it flat because it's supposed to be, I mean, there's a slight curve to the seam, but not enough to really matter. So I laid it flat on the ironing board and then just did a quick iron over the top of it, pulled the two sides tight and then ironed it. And when I did, it creates a little fold in the fabric. So I do that on both sides and then you flip it inside out, and wherever that crease is, the fabric will work itself out, right? So wherever that crease is, you just stitch along, the crease in the fabric between where the seam is that you put in and the original seam. If you stitch along that line that creates in the fabric to smooth it out, then it gets rid of all the wrinkles and everything. So it's good. It's pinned. I didn't pin it all the way down, so the bottom of it has a little bit of excess. Yeah, I didn't pull that, but that weird little balloon bubble thing that was happening right there, that's gone. And you can see how much seam allowance I have down here compared to up here. So when I just pulled the fabric apart and ironed it, then it created the seam that I have now. So it basically comes to right here and then stitches down, because that's where, like, you can see my hourglass here, and then the skirt's going to hit here and go out. So this side, again, it's just because the bottom isn't, but there's how much seam allowance I have on that side as well. Okay, so now I'm going to measure, the difference that I have here and apply that to the side seam that I'm going to stitch for the fashion fabric